Lily sat on the edge of her bed, her heart heavy with a weight she could not name. In the far corner of the room, a large fuzzy blue creature loomed over her. This was the worry monster. It was a silent companion born from the shadows of her mind. Every time Lily felt the familiar sting of anxiety about school, the monster responded by growing larger. Today, the situation had reached a breaking point. The creature was so massive that its soft, tufted ears brushed against the white ceiling. It seemed to pulse with a life of its own, feeding on the silence. Lily looked down at her math homework, a stack of papers that felt like a mountain she could never climb. The sight of the numbers made her stomach knot. Sensing her distress, the monster let out a low, vibrating rumble that shook the floorboards. It grew another inch, its massive bulk now completely blocking the bedroom door. Lily tried to ignore the suffocating presence. She reached for her pencil, her fingers trembling slightly, but the monster would not be ignored. It began to tap a long clawed finger against the wall. Thump, thump, thump. The sound echoed through her skull like a ticking clock. Desperate for a moment of peace, she put the pencil down and decided to flee to the kitchen. The monster followed her every move. As it squeezed through the narrow hallway, the walls groaned and the floorboards let out a sharp, protesting creak. The creature was a blue wall of fur, trailing behind her like a storm cloud. In the kitchen, Lily grabbed a glass of water, her hand shaking as the cold liquid spilled slightly. She took a deep, shaky breath, forcing herself to look at the clock instead of the giant blue mass filling the doorway. "I just need to do one," she whispered to herself. The decision was made. Lily sat back down at the table, the weight of the monster's gaze pressing against her back. She picked up the pencil again. She focused all her energy on the first problem, the numbers finally stopping their dance on the page. She wrote the number 5 with a firm, steady hand. Suddenly, a tiny squeak broke the silence. She looked up and gasped. The monster had shrunk its head, now bobbing below the level of the table. A wave of relief washed over her, making her feel a bit lighter. She moved to the second problem, her mind clearing with every step of the equation. As she solved it, the monster let out another soft sound and shrank again. It was no longer a giant. Now it was the size of a common house cat. It stopped looming and instead curled up on the rug, its once sharp claws tucked away. Lily kept working, her pencil flying across the paper. One problem, then another. until the entire page was finished. The monster was now as small as a button, sitting quietly on the toe of her shoe. Lily reached down and gently picked up the tiny blue creature. It felt soft and harmless in her palm. She walked over to her desk, found a small matchbox, and placed the monster inside. She closed the lid with a soft click and tucked the box into the very back of her bottom drawer. The silence in the room was different now. It was peaceful rather than heavy. The ceiling seemed higher and the air felt fresh. Lily stood up and walked out into the garden, leaving the room behind. The afternoon sun was golden and warm on her skin, a gentle embrace from the world outside. She did not look back at the house or the drawer. The worry was gone, replaced by the simple, quiet joy of a task completed and a mind at rest.